All right. I decided to take a break from editing a video that will probably get deleted because I don't know how the logistics of it. But I'm taking a break from that for a little bit to torture myself with a platformer game. I was also playing Super Mario Maker 2 a little earlier. I got that game for Christmas. I'm really bad at platformers. I am really bad at platformers. I was playing the part of that game where you had to build a castle. You know, you complete these levels, you get coins, you put the coins into I spend 500 coins to, it's 400 coins to build the left wing of the castle. Spend 600 coins to build the first floor of the main part of the castle, like stuff like that. And you know, like the first few stages are supposed to be like, you know, teaching you the basics. You know, they're supposed to be pretty easy. I was getting my butt handed to me on some of them. It was kind of embarrassing. I was dying to Goombas like left and right. So if that was supposed to be a warm-up, things are not looking too good for me. And I have not practiced this off-screen. I have not improved in any capacity. They had that in it was like 2 updates ago. It was before they added ID. Like when it was just up to here, and they didn't have these 2 rows. There was like a button where you could just click and choose a random one. I use that option all the time because sometimes I can't bring myself to decide. I'm the type of person who will use like roulettes and stuff for things that do not need them. Like if I can like push decisions onto someone else, I probably will. I'm the type of person who would just stop because this doesn't mean anything. The character you play as doesn't mean anything. But I am the type of person who will be like 5% through a Skyrim playthrough or like Fantasy Life playthrough and be like, now I'll just make a new character. I'll just change my character. I'll just not change my character. So if you give me options, I will just change the graphics all the time. Like I had what was it called? So let's go with oh god. I almost decided, but then I stopped. I almost had a decision, and some part of me stopped myself. Okay, let's go with oh god. It's like some part of my brain is just demands indecisiveness. Let's just go with Akai Hato Hachima her. Sure. But there was that one, what was it called? That one, like, a drawn to life game. I didn't play the original ever. I think it was on, like, the DS or 3DS. Or DSi. I forget. I'm pretty sure it was DSi. And they had a SpongeBob one. Oh, you can run? You can run? Since when? I spent so much time complaining last stream that I moved so slow, I could have ran the entire time. I could have been running the entire time. Anyways, they had a SpongeBob version of Drawn Together, or Drawn to Life, or whatever it was called. And, you could... The thing was, it was like Doodle Bob is attacking, because, again, I don't know what the original was like. I think someone recently made some, like, video essay on it or something. But I only played the SpongeBob version. So, and in that, it was like Doodle Bob is attacking Bikini Bottom. SpongeBob must make his own, like, another, like, doodle creation to combat Doodle Bob. And you play as the drawing creation, like the little ink homunculus. Well, I guess it was pencil. So the little graphite homunculus that SpongeBob created. And it was pretty cool. Like, you'd be able to, like, you know, just draw some random stuff and then it would just change into a playable character. And there was also like, I think there was also like default options. Like you could play as like random fish, like background characters. And I think also, I don't remember, it was a long time ago, but pretty much the point of it is I like did not get anywhere in the game because I would just keep, like, I just stayed at the starting zone of the game and would just keep drawing new characters and then just playing around on level 1 where there was like no difficulty and like never touching the story. I forgot to play this game. Okay, so this is not a bounce jump. This is just a regular. This is just a regular, just jump up there kind of thing. Okay. This one's a... Okay. Wasn't I above here? I don't understand how this game works as far as like checkpoints go, because I have a checkpoint. I placed a checkpoint. It just kind of ignored the checkpoint. Like it cost like a bunch of coins. It costs 100 coins. Those aren't like real like you know other like coins. These are like coins you get specifically from this game, and there's a very limited amount. Usually they put them in like really difficult positions, so you'd assume that they'd mean something instead of just being like, oh, you have a checkpoint? Too bad. Actually, I'm not going to put you there. Like, unless I'm just totally misunderstanding how checkpoints work. Like, I feel like I understand how checkpoints tend to work in video games. I feel like that's simple enough of a concept that I can trust that I would understand it. That usually, checkpoint means you start off level at this point unless you game over. Okay. But apparently there's exceptions to this rule. And this is it. There's no like yeah, there's place checkpoint. There's go to the exact start, but there's no go back to checkpoint. And if you restart, you do not go back to your checkpoint. Unless somehow I placed my checkpoint in a specific location where it is impossible for it to spawn me there because it like there's like some collision issue, so it just sends me somewhere else. I have no idea. Oh my god. Oh goodness. Oh goodness gracious. Okay. Because this is a part this is my least favorite part of this level so far. And I always get put back here. Not any other place. This specific part that I've had so much trouble with. Not like where I left off. Not where I put my checkpoint. Just here. Every time. It's a mystery. I would ask like myself whether or not I should just look up how do checkpoints work in this game, but I'm still working on an excuse as to why I shouldn't. Okay. That's why I don't like this yeah, this is gonna be a while. This is only 2% done with the level. Okay, there we go. There's my checkpoint. I was not there. That seems like a good spot for a checkpoint. That seems like a pretty decent spot for a checkpoint. I don't see what the issue is with this checkpoint. Like, why not just put me up there? Why not put me at the checkpoint? What's the point of the checkpoint if you're not going to put me there? I spent 100 coins on this thing. Okay, fair enough. I remember I left off here, and my checkpoint was below me, and I started off further down. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Okay, that could have gone worse. That could have gone a lot worse. I feel like I got a bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about, but now I always forget the exact moment I hit start stream. I don't know how it works that way, but yeah, it's fine. See, okay, checkpoint. There we go. What was I going to talk about? Actually, I don't remember. Been working on a video this weekend, or yesterday, and like the night before that. It's like I was reading through a like a choose one of those like game books, like those like advanced choose your own adventure things. I thought I'd make a video on it. I think I said this at the exact start of the video. I don't even know how like if that's like not allowed. I actually don't know. I just because it's like it functions like a almost like a visual novel. Not even like more because it's like a bunch of branching paths that have like skill checks and stuff like that. So you'd think it's like, oh well, oh, it's like it's like a multiple ending thing. It's pretty much a video game without the video. It is a game, but it's also like a book. So I don't, and I I have the mindset of I'll just do it, and I'll think about the logistics later. So it's a foolproof plan, really. Like there, see, it's great. It's a great mindset to have. It's a great mindset to have. It's just the best mindset you could really have, honestly. It's a winner's perspective, actually. It's clearly it's working. Clearly it's working. Clearly this is going well for me. Clearly I'm not in a bad like Sisyphus type position here. Wow, this is more like a Hercules type story. I actually don't know how the story of Hercules ends. I assume it ends happily. I assume it ends with him. It ends with him like he joins like the Marvel universe, right? He becomes a Marvel character, so he seems to be doing pretty well. He was in Secret Invasion. He played a pretty big role in Secret Invasion. I think that's how this story is gonna go for me. There's gonna be shape-shifting aliens at some point. Okay, there we go. That's the hardest part. Everything else is like fine. That part I just do not like. And it's like maybe if I do it enough times, I'll get like so good at it that it won't even be an issue anymore. But I don't want that to happen because that means I would have to fall down there enough times for it to become like muscle memory, and that's just not good. Like I'd rather just go up than like memorize some random spot at the beginning. I'd rather just not have to go back there. So what's the soda machine? I think I see like the blue like covered symbol. Is it like Hope Soda? Is it like KFP and Hope Soda? That's the only like soda like meme I can think of. For some reason, I feel like if I do that eventually, I'll like bounce in a location where I can like make it up there. It doesn't work, and for some reason, I just keep doing it, even though I understand that that's not how the game works. Like if you bounce and you bounce back, you're gonna end back at your starting point. So doing the same jump is just gonna it's not gonna do anything. At least that's my understanding, and clearly I'm an expert here, so I'm assuming I'm correct. Have I ever made it up there? Have I actually ever made it up there? Am I like doing this jump wrong just inherently? How else would you do it? Okay, there we go. That was that was this is like a ricochet jump, right? This isn't just like a straight up jump. This is like a yeah, it's like that. stay away from me, man. You stay away from me. It's crazy. I don't know. That Koronesuki, he's giving me bad vibes. I don't know, man. What if he's dead? What if that's like a severed head? The barrel doesn't do anything. There's not even like a old PewDiePie amnesia reference here. Really a wasted opportunity. Everyone knows there's a strong connection between PewDiePie and HoloLive, and they really missed the opportunity by not capitalizing on that. Okay, how do I? Okay, this isn't Mario. There's no like momentum. You can't like run and get momentum. That's not how this game works. So how do I? I can't just jump this way. It has to be this way. This is just a tricky jump. I don't get it. It's the ceiling's too low. That's got to be how you do it. But the ceiling's too low. You can't. You just hit your head. Okay, that was a lot easier than I remember it being. That was very close. I'm not going to comment on that. I guess uninteresting story. Because I say it's an uninteresting story because I don't even know where I'd go with this. But I have like one of those like security cameras on like the backyard. There was a cat in my backyard like a few nights ago. I don't know anyone in like the area that owns a cat, let alone like an outdoor cat. That's like try to steal it from whoever owns it though. Feed it to my dog. Actually, she's probably, I think she's smaller than the cat, but and she's a really picky eater. She doesn't eat fish. My dog does not eat fish. She doesn't eat anything that comes from the ocean. She just refuses to eat fish. Every time I have fish, she gets like sad. So she's like, "That's not food. Why are you eating that? I can't eat that. That's not real food." I like to imagine that she has an ideology that, like, if God intended humans to eat fish, he wants to put them in the water. Not humans, because, you know, she's a dog, but if God intended for land animals to eat fish, they would not be in the water. I think that's her philosophy. Oh no. Well, I think I've remembered one thing, but this is like one of the less interesting. I got another one of the less interesting. I don't think I have anything interesting I can actually talk about. Nothing like actually interesting, but I have things I can talk about. One of them was like since I released those AI videos, I got like a bunch of comments. I have not used. I have like no experience with how you're supposed to answer comments. So I have no I don't. The thing I don't understand is what the heart is supposed to mean. I don't like why are there two like buttons? What's the point of the two like buttons? It just feels like gratuitous. It feels like, oh well, you liked that, but you didn't like heart it. It's like, oh man, I got it, but then it's like, oh well, then if you do it for this person, you gotta do it for everyone. And it's like, okay, well, am I like devaluing this? Am I doing this right? I don't know what the what if I'm like causing like heart inflation or something. I'm devaluing the heart button. I assume there's like it's supposed to be like, well, if you have like a 1,000 comments, you can pick out like the top 5 or something and give them a heart. It's like I don't know. I don't get it. It's like the it's similar but kind of different from the oh, actually it's completely different. This is just a different YouTube issue, a YouTube thing I don't understand. The like the emoji spam option, like the little thing on the corner. Like they want to be TikTok or which one had it first? Was it Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok? I don't use any of those. Like I use Twitch. Twitch does not have that. Like they have a usually if you just want to spam emojis, you just spam them in chat, and then maybe you get banned, maybe you don't. It depends on the situation, depends on the streamer, depends on the vibes. There's no like dedicated like little like like thing where they just crawl up from like little rats from hell. You think she'd have brain damage by now, but she's probably fine. I just because I don't see anyone ever use it, or maybe it's just gonna never pay attention. Not like in my streams, I mean like in other streams. Like people just, it's the most like frivolous, pointless feature I think YouTube has ever added. Next to that one that short-lived feature they had where it was like, which color videos do you want to see? Do you want to see some orange videos? It's like, what do you? I still have no idea what they meant by that. I didn't want to click on it. I didn't want to like encourage them to continue that feature because it was so stupid that I didn't even want to like give them a click. I wanted them to like realize that that was a bad idea, but I still don't. I'm actually kind of curious in hindsight. Like, what do they mean by? Do you want an orange video or a blue video? Is it just like we looked at this video and determined that it has a lot of blues in there? Like, what person out there is like deciding they want to watch a video based on what color they feature the most? Like if it's art, I could maybe understand. If it's like, hey, I want to like see an art piece that's mainly just features a bunch of like oranges, like a very like autumny type of piece. Like that, I understand. But a video? No, no. People don't watch unless you're an actual, genuine, legitimate infant. You're not gonna be choosing videos based on color. You're not gonna be like, ah man, I'm feeling. It's like, it's that one meme where it's like me when my wife wants to watch orange, but I want to watch blue, like the Neon Genesis meme. This is not Mario. I keep forgetting this is not Mario. It's like that, but it's like they saw that and said, wow, that's a great idea. We should capitalize on that. Like they have that. They added that as a feature, but not the they still have yet to adapt the Twitch um style subscription emotes, which I think is I think is dumb. Like on Twitch, I guess everyone probably knows this, but I'm gonna say it anyways because I need to fill air here. Um, like Twitch, if you have a subscription on Twitch, like it's like their version of a membership, any sort of any sort of emotes you get on Twitch from a channel can be used on any server or not any like other stream. Like let's say you get like you subscribe to streamer A and they have all these emotes. You can then go to streamer B's stream and use streamer A's emotes. Though there is like a feature where you can say like, okay, these emotes are for my own like streams only on Twitch. You can say like, okay, this is like for me only. I don't want people. You can make it so you can only use your emotes on your streams or only specific emotes on your streams. But for some reason on YouTube, if you have a subscribe or a membership for streamer A, there is zero option to use those emotes on streamer B's channel. It's just not a thing you can do. Oh my god, I am in hell. I'm actually in hell right now. YouTube is punishing me. And I think their idea is like, okay, let's give an example of a classic emote, like a classic like VTuber emote, like the Kusa emote. I don't even know if people like EN VTubers use this anymore. I don't know if like it was like it used to be like a standard that if you were a VTuber, you had a Kusa emote, which is like the Japanese kanji for grass. Which the way that came up about is the Japanese word for laughter is like warai, and then they shortened it to wara, and then they shortened it to just the letter W, and then they would just if they were like, oh, I'm laughing, they would just post a bunch of letter like www like wada like ha ha ha, and then they're like, haha, it kind of looks like if you have a bunch of W's together, it looks like grass, and they're like, oh, let's just use our word for grass as opposed to posting like a billion W's. I'll just say grass, like it looks like grass. So that just kind of became like the LOL like emote was just the Japanese kanji for grass. And that was like, it got popularized with obviously Japanese streamers, and then English streamers came in, and it was just the default that everyone had the grass emote. I don't think I've seen many VTubers have it nowadays though. Usually they have like um just like a picture of themselves laughing or something. Which I think I prefer anyways. I feel like you get a bit more creativity because anyways, point that I'm getting to, back on topic, is if you are in a stream and you don't have a membership and something really funny happens and everyone's posting like the Kusa emote and it's like, ah, dang, I don't have a membership, I cannot participate in this. The only way I would be able to participate in this like active camaraderie would be if I pay the subscription fee and I get the emotes for myself and I can then use them in chat and be part of the group of cool kids. But and then it's like you have to do that with every single channel you watch. If it's like, oh, I have a membership on streamer A's channel, but then I sometimes also go watch streamer B, and I only, if something funny happens on streamer A's channel, I'm like, oh, I'm with the other guys. But if something funny happens on streamer B's channel, I can't participate. I can't post the emoji or anything. But if it was like Twitch, you'd just be like, well, I don't need to get a membership for streamer B because I could just use the emote from streamer A. They're both like the same thing. And that's one of those things where it's like, because it's a lot of YouTube emotes, they just kind of like, I guess just stream, because they do have, this is like a thing on Twitch too. Like there's a lot of like cookie cutter emotes that are, or like just niches. It's like like an evolution. Uh, if you have, okay, an example would be marsupials in Australia. Um, it's like the only, like that, like Australia and I think like, what is it, like the Madagascar, I think. I mainly just know Australia, but it's like that area is the only place where you'll find marsupials except for possums. Because marsupials, they have pouches, and that would the marsupials came before animals that did not have pouches, like animals like let's say a cat that just gives birth to kittens that doesn't need to stay in a pouch, evolved after marsupials, and they're generally a lot more successful. Like placental mammals outcompete marsupials in like all categories. They always outcompete marsupials. That's why when they introduced like rabbits to Australia, if I'm remembering the story correctly, it became like a huge issue because the rabbits were immediately able to outcompete the marsupials because they were able to reproduce a lot faster and more efficiently than they would if they had to like keep their baby on them for a long period of time and make themselves vulnerable. Right? I don't know the exact details as to how they get outcompete. I just know that they do, and the fact that they don't give birth the same way is a pretty big issue. They don't like it takes a while for their offspring to reach maturity. But anyway, point is, though there's only marsupials in that area, the marsupials evolved to fill all the niches like, herbivores, carnivores, scavengers, all that stuff. They all evolved. There's like a certain like groups of niches in like an ecosystem that animals will evolve to fill. Like if you put a bunch of shrimp, or maybe not like not aquatic animals. Let's start with you put a bunch of like rats, like an like a, just an like a forest, and you just put rats in there. The only animals there are like rats. Eventually, like over like I'm getting like a long time. Eventually, you'll have like carnivorous rats, like big grazing rats, like little scavenger rats. They will evolve to fill every single niche, because if there's an area where they can survive without having competition, they will they will evolve to take that space. My point is that there are a few things. This is insane. Now I'm thinking about this. This is a very barely related tangent, but like there's a few like basic roles that like streamer emojis fill. Like no matter what like streamer they are, there's always like the same group of emojis. They like no matter like what they are, they always like fill the same niches of like angry emoji, laughing emoji, like good job emoji, sad emoji, maybe like like one where it's like horny emoji or something like that. There's always like those given ones. And thus, you could have like one membership and you pretty much have all the basic like toolkit. You have like all the basic emojis you would need to like use like those customs things on like any channel. At least for YouTube. I feel like with Twitch, since they have competition, there's a bit more because on YouTube like this it's pretty basic. Mainly just because there's no animated emojis too. It's only just pictures. And a lot of times the picture like there's a lot like exceptions obviously, but a lot of times it's just like the same emojis everyone else has with different branding. Like it's different packaging, but they convey the same messages. And thus, I think YouTube is afraid to. Oh my god, it really happened. YouTube doesn't want to make it so you can just get one. You can just get one like membership and use it on every single stream, because the lack of animated emotes and those type of varieties makes it so there's not much incentive. There wouldn't be much incentive to have multiple memberships if you could just use one on every stream. Though I guess if someone really, you think they just make it a feature where someone can say, I do not want people to use other channel emotes on my streams if they want those emotes. Like, it's a big deal. You think they'd make it a feature? You can just make it so they can't use like third-party emote. Well, not third-party, like like other channel emotes on their thing. If it's like, no, I just want people to use my stuff. That seems like the sane and reasonable thing to do. Would be a case by case thing where people can decide if they want to have like other people use their emojis or not. I still think I still think it's like something where it'd be better, but it also feels like it'd be. There's also part of me that feels like it'd be wrong. Like I feel like being able to like go on to, like let's say Elizabeth Bloodflame's channel and use Aki Rosenthal emotes. It feel like cheating. You know, it feel like I'm like advertising someone else's channel on, like I'm just going in there and saying, hey, by the way, subscribe to this person. By the way, fan of this person come representing. By the way, remember this person, because like there's already like a lot of rules in streamer chats that I don't really see the point in it personally, but like to some extent I don't see the point of it. Where it's like you cannot mention other streamers in someone's stream chat, which it makes sense if you're just coming in and like immediately start talking about. To me, it doesn't make. To me, I don't think I'd care that much. I really don't think I would care. But a lot of people do not like that. So if you're going in and using someone else's emotes, you think that. Then again, that just goes back to the the idea of just if they don't like it, you think they'd just be able to turn it off and say, actually, you can only use my emotes. It just seems like it'd be a better idea. Oh no. Oh no. I will never get past this. I will actually never get past the chandelier. I do not understand the chandelier. I do not get it, Sam I am. Oh my god. Well, yeah. And then, oh, I remember another thing. Remember another thing I was going to talk about. I got the Hatsune Miku fitness boxing game. I originally just thought it was like a DLC for fitness boxing too, but it's its own game, and it has like its own like features. I don't know if this was a thing in the Fist of the North Star game. I don't know anything about that one, but I know in the Miku one, there is like a rhythm game type. Because usually in fitness boxing, it's just like, it's called like a rhythm game, but generally you're just kind of like, you just, let's say you like start out like jab, jab, jab. Okay, now let's do jab straight, jab straight, jab straight. Okay, now let's do jab straight, right hook, jab straight, right hook. It's like you progressively like learn little bits of like a combo, and then you do that, and then you switch to the other side, do the exact same thing. It's not like to the beat of a song or anything. It's just like a routine that you do on orthodox and southpaw. But on the Miku version, there's a one where it's actually like a rhythm game where it's like you do the punches to the beat of a song, and that's really cool. That I've really enjoyed so far. And I've been playing with Len mainly. I'm like a Len kind of guy. And then I was like, oh, if I want to get more of the Len songs, I just like Len's songs more. I just think his songs are better because he has like that more like Len and Rin have like more of a like energy to their songs. But I was like, oh man, if I want all the Len songs, I have to unlock Rin. And the only way to unlock Rin is if you get to the good friends status with Miku. I've barely touched Miku. Like ever since I unlocked Len, I just have not touched Miku. Which sound okay, I have not touched Miku is a very weird sentence to say, but it is true. It is a true statement. I have not touched Miku. But now I am. Now I'm back to touching Miku, and I've gotten to the friends category, but not the good friends category yet. I've also been trying to figure out like what difficulty I should have it on. So at first I was just kind of rusty, so I had it on like light and kind of like relatively short exercises. But I was like, okay, this is like nothing. Like at some point I'm like, okay, this is I gotta step it up a little bit because this feels like child's play. I upped it from like, was it like 20 something minute exercise, like 33, which feels better so far. Eventually I might try to like up the difficulty level because everything's like lightweight. When I played fitness boxing 1 and 2, I had everything on like the highest difficulty. But I guess I'm a little bit right. I've been playing like a lot of Ring Fit Adventure. Like a lot of it. Like I beat the game a long time ago. I beat the game 3 times over because there's like a new game, like there's the game, new game plus, and like new game plus plus. And you just play through the exact same game like 3 times with like increasing difficulty level each time. And like there's like the story continues. Like it's kind of like an after, well, it's not like there's no like conflict in the next 2 parts. Things are pretty like happy in the next, like the second and third playthrough. But I just kept like playing the levels on the last level of the game, like the last like third part like level, which funnily enough is called World 69, which I thought was pretty funny. And eventually I'm like, okay, I can't just keep playing like these like 5 levels, or like 5 or 6 levels just on loop forever. Like I have to get like some diversity in this like exercise routine. because that's not really going anywhere. So then I decided to get like back into Ring Fit. How do I do this? So if I jump here, I just hit my head. Maybe like that. Okay, maybe not like that. You know what? I'm hoping the Deb stubs their toe mildly, like a slightly stubs their toe, where it's like, ah, dang, that. It's like, ah, man. You kind of say like ow, more like reflex and actually hurting. It's like ah. And then like if someone hears you say like ow, like, oh man, are you okay? It's like, no, yeah, I'm fine. It's like it didn't actually hurt. For some reason, like you said ow, so you just feel like you had to, you know, you're like oh my gosh, yow, oh what, owie. It doesn't. You actually did not feel any sort of pain, and then you're like, oh man, like I just convinced that person I hurt myself. And then like, oh are you okay? It's like, yeah, it actually did not hurt. And it's like, no, you sound like brave. It's like, no, it actually did not hurt at all. And it's like awkward. It's like, explain. That's what's gonna happen. This is the strongest curse in the book. The book being a what? Actually, I don't remember what it's called. What's her name? Betty Crocker. It's a Betty Crocker book. I was obsessed with the Betty Crocker like kids cookbook as a kid. So like all those like weird monster things. Like any like because they also have like goofy names and stuff. I think that's what like I'm the type of person where food has like a goofy name like on a menu. I'll be like 10 times more likely to get it. Like, ooh, the Sasquatch burger. Ooh, I'm interested in that one. It's like this is the bacon cheeseburger, the California burger. Okay, you know, like the cowboy burger. It's like, okay, the big monster burger. Oh boy, or something. So it's a bad example, but I think you get the idea. That was me. I've also noticed that I'm playing on the controller now, which for some reason works well on this, but does not work very well on like the actual like Holocure game because this mouse goes like all over the place. For the reticle, whatever the aim thing. I've noticed I can like angle my jumps easier. I don't end up just doing this. I'm locked in. I'm not locked in. I lied. How do you do that? How are you supposed to do that? Once I fall down from there, I just keep falling. From that specific point, like any other point, like I'm fine. Even though it's like I fall to a reasonable point from the chandelier, but it's like a curse. It is a cursed spot. I can never get like 2 consecutive tries on the chandelier because I always end up like I get like a string of bad luck every time I miss the chandelier jump. This shouldn't be hard. That was how I did the jump before. That was how I did it before. It worked before. I'd have an easier time with the chandelier if I was able to just like give it a few tries in a row, as opposed to like, oh, you tried it, you like fell down like 1 foot and then just fall down like all the way. Then you're like cursed to stay there for like 10 minutes, and then maybe you find your way back, and it's like, all right, let's just whoops, back, go back, go back. Also, you will now forget to do this one jump that you thought you knew by memory before. By magic. See, right there. It is a cursed hell spot. It is actually evil. This game is, like... That doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right to call it evil. That's, like, too nice. That's too, like basic. It's just as basic as, like making jokes about war crimes. It's, like, it doesn't have any, like, zing to it. Like, oh, this is evil. There's no zing. There's no zing to that insult. I'll come back to you when I think of something. I don't have anything on my mind right now. It's like a better example. Like, I would say deliberately unpleasant, but it's like, I guess that's the point, right? But it feels like out of place, doesn't it? In a game like this? I feel like Holocure is like a relaxing game, you know? Like, when I think it's like, oh, that's like a game you sit down with to relax. It feels out of place. It feels like, it would be like if, like okay, how do I give an example? Like if there was like some like cutesy, it would be like if they were to like make a really like edgy version of Hello Kitty. Like if they were to like take Hello Kitty and do like what they do with like that one like Looney Tunes series, like Looney Tunes like Unleashed or whatever it was called. It feels like that, where it's like why would you do that? This is why did you feel to be like edgy now? It's like I'm edgy now. We're mean now. We're mean now. Haha. We're mean guys now. We're meanies. It's like it's like come on, man. You're not that kind of guy, man. You ain't that kind of guy. Like when someone's like who's like edgy, does stuff that's edgy, it's like, oh yeah, you know, that's Tim over there. You know, he's always doing that kind of stuff. And then when someone who's like the nice one starts doing it, it's like, man, that ain't you. Stop that. That ain't you, man. That ain't you, man. Stop trying to make that. That ain't you, man. It's like this. Like, this ain't you. It feels out of character from you. It doesn't feel right when you do it. I have not gone back to the chandelier yet. I'm actually just stuck here. I know for a fact if I leave, I will not end up here. I will not end up at the checkpoint. I will end up at the spot, like the 3% done spot. For some reason. Not even starting at the beginning. I would understand if it started me at the beginning. I don't understand why it starts me up like 3%. I actually would not be surprised if it turned out that it was like the game's like figures out where the point you spent the most time at and just drops you off there. Well, then it's like, why include a checkpoint mechanic? Why pretend to be nice if you're not going to be nice? Why pretend like you're going to be like, oh, well, this is like it's like a nicer version of Jump King if you're just going to be Jump King? Like, why even like have the illusion of niceties and like, oh, you know, this isn't just like a rage game. You have like a checkpoint, you know, you have like a checkpoint system. It's like, actually, it's just a rage game. Haha, screw you. Screw you. It's a rage game. Haha, you're angry. You're angry. You're mad. You're mad. You're mad. It's like, it's not funny when it's coming from you. You ain't the type of person. Feels forced. Feels forced! I have not made it back. This is like the start of the game. This is like this is pretty much just the start. This is pretty much just the start. Oh, good heavens! Oh, good heavens! I'm gonna say it. I think the MCU would have been better if instead of like being like, yeah, I know that story goes that way, but I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna do this. If they were just like, okay, these stories happen in this continuity. It's like, what was it? I think they shouldn't. I think they shouldn't have started the MCU with it without having all the IPs because it just complicates things. He was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have like Civil War, but or what was it? Was it like Secret Invasion? It's like Wolverine was supposed to be in Secret Invasion. Or it was largely about like Hawkeye and Hawkeye and what was her name? Mockingbird. And it's like actually we don't have Mockingbird, but we're still gonna do Civil War. No, we're still gonna do a Secret Invasion. Oh, and we're gonna do Secret Invasion while Iron Man is dead. Even though he was like the main character in that series. Like, oh yeah, we killed off Iron Man. Now we're gonna do Secret Invasion. What are you talking about? Why would you do that? You don't even have Norman Osborn. Why would you try to do Secret Invasion without Norman Osborn? You're screwing things up. That's why no one remembered it. That's why no one remembered it. Like, you don't even have Marvel. I didn't see Captain Marvel, but I'm pretty sure Marvel isn't even a thing in the MCU. That was like you have to have him to do Secret Invasion. You gotta have like Marvel at least canon, even if he's not alive, because he's supposed to be dead at that point, because he was killed by, what was it, like Nuke, because he died of cancer. Because then Nuke shows up in Civil War. He's like the catalyst. You don't even have Nuke. Was it Nuke? I think it wasn't Nuke. It was like Nitro or something. It was like Nitro. The guy who's just the living bomb. Not to be confused with the living bomb Blast, who is what was it called? Blast Star of the Negative Zone. Controls like half of the area, and he's just like this like furry tyrant, like fascist tyrant guy. I don't even know what fascism means. It just feels like that's usually the description for characters like that. It's like a more accurate political terminology for the whole like I'm just going to conquer everything. I don't think it's fascism. I think it's like it's got to be like imperialism, right? I don't think it's really that deep. He shoots lasers from his hands. But anyways, as I was saying, also it's weird to do Civil War when you don't have the Fantastic Four because the Invisible Woman was a huge part of Civil War. She was a pretty integral part. Was because Reed Richards was like, oh, I'm agreeing with Tony Stark because we should have the Registry. And then Susan Storm, who's his wife, well, Susan Richards at that point, like actually had like a falling out with him. Because they're supposed to be like, the very picturesque couple, and they actually have like this fundamental disagreement and are on opposite sides, and it's like this huge ordeal. And it's like, oh yeah, actually we don't have them, but we're still gonna try to do the story anyways. It doesn't feel right. And then they end up with like situations like, oh wait, we can't do this plot point anymore because we screwed up. The timeline's all wonky. We tried to do like the Ultimates. We tried to do like the Ultimates stuff with the Avengers. the Chitauri, weren't they like shapeshifters in the ultimate? I don't even know if the Ultimates is the ultimate timeline. I actually don't know it because ultimate timeline is like different, right? I'm just like I'm mainly like most of the critical lore stuff I got from audiobooks. I'm pretty sure the Ultimates, like where instead of the Avengers they're called the Ultimates, is like a different timeline. Because in that one, Thor's backstory is different. In that one, he's like he like grew up as a mortal because instead of because in like 616 continuity, I'm pretty sure the comic concept is that Thor was like this big arrogant guy. He was like really arrogant, had no real regard for mortals or anything, and thus Odin was like, "Nah, I gotta teach you some humility. I'm gonna like force you to live as a mortal in Midgard," which is kind of isn't it like what happened to like Susanoo in like Shinto mythology? Is that he was forced to live as a mortal or something for a period of time because he was so arrogant? It was like that, but Norse. And he has a secret identity where he'd like, turn into Thor and save people. And then he was like a surgeon who had like he was like that, like he was like House, he had like the cane and all that. And the idea was the cane would turn into Thor's hammer. And then in the Ultimates timeline, he was like this a Scandinavian guy who he just like, he's like lived his entire life. He wasn't just like thrust into someone else's identity. He, like lived his entire life, and then like at the age of 18, he suddenly got some vision that told him, actually, you're the son of Thor, or no, the son of, not the son of Odin, and come back to Asgard. And then like when he was in Asgard, he was actually like being held in an insane asylum because he just went catatonic or something. So they locked him up in a mental institution because they thought he was crazy. And then he comes back and starts saying, "I am the son of the Norse, like all father god." And they're like, "Okay, yeah, you are crazy," but then he's like using superpowers and like, but is he crazy? And there's like, because that they kind of played at that in the original, the first Avengers movie, if I remember correctly. Like no one really believed that Thor was Thor. They just kind of believed he was some crazy guy with like really significant magical powers who just kind of believed he was Thor because he's crazy. And they're just like, yeah, but he's strong, so we're just going to keep him around. So that alone makes me think that it has to be a different timeline. And also in that one, I don't know that the actual like if this is like, because in that one they also say that Bruce Banner became the Hulk because he was trying to replicate the super soldier serum with gamma radiation. He wasn't trying to create a bomb. Because in Immortal Hulk, which I think is more in line with 616 continuity, they say that the entire thing was he was trying to make the gamma bomb, which is supposed to be like a lot more powerful than a nuclear bomb. No, it was supposed to be that the gamma bomb would only kill humans and leave all the infrastructure. So if you want to like wipe out an entire nation and still have like their entire city to take over, you want to like build their city up from the ground up, you could just take it over and use all their stuff. Like all their money and all their resources would still be there. You would use a gamma bomb to just kill all the people and all the animals and stuff. I think they said in the comic it only killed humans. That that's another difference. But I think they tried to do more with that continuity in the Ultimate. So that's what I'm pretty sure it's a different timeline. It's really hard to tell. Like, was it actually like, do they have different backstories because it's a different timeline, or did they just decide to retcon it and then unretcon it? Oh my, this is actually hell. This is hell. I have not gotten back to the chandelier yet. And then when I get to the chandelier, I'm just gonna fall back down again. Because I don't know. I still don't know I'm supposed to jump that. This jump has been killing me. This specific jump. I did it like a billion times before. That's what I did before, isn't it? Right. Okay. That's see. My neck is sore. I've been like shrimping. I've been like shrimp necking. Just gonna get my chair back in a reasonable position where I'm not scrunched over. The chair is like way behind me for some reason. Yeah, it's like a lot of because as far as I can tell, again, like this is like it's really for some reason it's really hard to get like a full grasp of like comic book lore because it's so sparse. And even like one big event will just be separated through like a bunch of issues, and you can get like a trade paperback where you think it'd be like a concise story, and then it'll just be like you'll have like a continuous story at the start, and then like halfway through that plot line will be dropped, and then it'll just start on like some like big universe wide event like in the middle of it. It's like, oh, by the way, now they're in space, and they're fighting, and they're fighting like the Easter Bunny, and everyone is pirates now. And like for one chapter, then it's back to some other story. It's like, it's like jarring. It's like, why'd you put that in? Well, actually, because that part ties into the rest of the story because they changed their outfit a little bit, and then in the next issue they have that outfit. It's like, so you mean to tell me they're like in the middle of like stopping some villain, and then they just went to space? And I didn't get told about the connection between how that started or ended, where that just happened. That happens a lot. That happens a lot in trade paperbacks. Because it'll be like, oh, this is a full story, and then you just read it. It's like actually, it's like part like 6 out of like 12 of this person's like comic run, and it's not at all like a standalone story. But then there's no way to tell like what the reading order is unless you have all of them and like know what happens in all of them, and then can like try to piece together what the plot is. But anyways, I'm pretty sure with DC they like reset their universe a lot. They'll like because they're like canonically if I'm remembering correctly, because nothing is like solid. You can like think you know something. It's like actually that was only true for like that one issue, and even though you thought it made sense, actually they dropped that idea instantly. Where they said that this could be just like New 52 continuity, but they said there's like 52 universes in the DC multiverse, and then there's like different realms that are just like outside of the multiverse, like they exist as like one realm no matter which universe you're in. Like what is it, like each universe goes to the has like they all have like heaven and hell and like nightmare and dream and apocalypse and new genesis, and those are all like just consistent realms that exist outside of the multiverse. Well, in Marvel, it's a lot of it takes place on Earth 616 specifically. So like the characters are like the same unless you read something where it's like an alternate unit like Marvel Zombies for it's like a different universe. It's not 616. And the ultimate like timeline, you know, like with the one where Reed Richards is Doctor Doom and stuff like that. That's like 6160 or something. But they have like a continuity with Marvel. They have like there's like a linear timeline of events that could pretty easily follow. So you'd think it's like, well, why don't they just follow the timeline they have? Like, you know, they could like clean it up a bit, cut out some of the fat, but like you have like a timeline there you can follow. But then it's like, oh yeah, they can't follow the timeline as easily because they don't have like all the characters. Like, why don't you just get the characters? Why did you sell them in the first place? Why do you keep changing the design? Why did you make Gamora so ugly? Where are her eyebrows? I'm getting a phone call. I clicked mute and it doesn't mute. I hate it when it does that. Because okay, the mute thing, you have to press it twice to mute it, and twice to that wasn't always the case. When I first got this microphone, if you press the mute button, it would mute it, and if you press the mute button, it would unmute it. But nowadays, if you press the mute button, it doesn't do anything. Like 90% of the time, you have to press it twice. The first press doesn't do anything. How long have I been going for? I want to see if I have an excuse to stop. No. I want to at least get to the chandelier like one more time. That's not going to happen, is it? Okay. This game is just bad. All right. Ugh. I'm considering just looking it up. Like how to get past chandelier in Holocure Jump King. And pray that enough people have had this problem that there's just someone that says like something that'll make it clear as to what I'm supposed to do here. Because I actually do not know. Actually, I don't think I'll be able to figure it out by like trial and error. Because I get like one try per 30 minutes. Like I don't know what it just goes against the mechanics I understand so far of this game. It just does not line up with my current understanding of it. Like as far as my current understanding of this game is, that jump is impossible. Like, it's not a possible jump. The question is, when I miss that jump, is it because I'm not close enough to the edge, or is it because I'm jumping too hard? Am I supposed to jump less, or jump more, or jump close to the edge, or jump further away from? That's nice. That's nice. What did I do different there? Is it like, is it really so like precise that if you're just a millisecond off as far as like how far you hold it, it's like, nope, that's not gonna work there, buddy. No, you bet. Too bad there, buddy. Too bad there, buddy. That's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's not intuitive. It's not supposed to be intuitive. It's not supposed to be intuitive. It's actually supposed to be really. It's actually supposed to be hard and difficult, and that just means it's doing what it's supposed to. Okay. Also, I tried like when I tried making this thumbnail, for some reason my iPad was like lagging. Like the art program was like lagging like crazy. It was impossible to use it. It was insane. I tried like drawing like tears, and I couldn't do it because I would like draw a line and it would take like a minute for the line to show up. Anything I drew took like a minute to show up. It was crazy. Cute girl. Okay. Use spoiler. They took a picture. They're also playing Hachima, and of course, because Reddit is the worst cesspool of idiots on the planet. There's like the discussion is just did you know that Jump King is actually harder than this? Yeah, this game is actually really nice for letting you see the jump bar and placing checkpoints. That's such a W. Well, yeah, Jump King doesn't have a bar. It's so much easier with the jump bar gauge. They should add Fuamoko. I've never played Jump King. This game is hard. Sometimes your jump is a bit weaker. Uh, Now they're just talking about coding. Use the screenshot. Use the screenshot. No one's talking about how to do it. Not one person. Do about a quarter strength jump. One person, Umbreon. The only person who said something that's like an answer to the question. Reddit is like the worst site on the planet. That was my one shot. I'm telling you, you get one shot, and that's it. Okay, there we go. See, the one person was right. Just one response. That's all you need. You know, you're like, hey guys, I like how this game has a jump bar. See, that's not what the question was. That's not what the question was. Just answer the question. Why can they never answer questions? Why are Redditors incapable of just hearing a question and then answering it? I know there's like the character AI one, and it was like a very brief period of time where it was really funny. A very brief period of time. Because it was like when like the filters were like really starting to just kind of, it was just kind of starting to get bad, where it was like anytime you like talk to one of them, they would respond with like towers over you with a pang of panging. Can I ask you a question? Are you sure? Are you sure you want to hear my question? Are you sure? Are you sure you want me to ask this? Okay, but you promise you won't be mad at me, right? You promise? But can I ask you the question? Like, that's what the AI. That's what the AI is like on character AI. It used to be like really good. It used to be like really funny. And then it's like not only did they start banning everything, but then they started like it just got like dumber and like more it's just like too tame because like I think some kid like killed himself or something. It's like boo hoo, but I'm stronger. It sounds like a skill issue, honestly. And then like I think they made it because that kid was like a minor. Because like he shouldn't even they shouldn't even be on like that. It's not healthy. Like you should understand that like you shouldn't have a kid forming like a really vulnerable kid forming relationships with a robot who has like no like barely any you have no control over it pretty much. And then I think then they the smartest thing they've done is they made it so you have to if like they added like a age restriction thing, kinda, where it's like you have to enter your birth date, and if you enter your birthday, the filters are more lenient, which is seems smart. And if you're like under the age of 18, and you try to like get freaky with you try to get like romantical with the robot in any capacity, you get like timed out for like a day, which is a little excessive, but like you know, like you shouldn't have like kids forming relationships with robots. It's just not healthy. And nowadays, the entire like all discussion is like, I'm like 14 years old and I wanted to hold hands with this guy from Jujutsu Kaisen, and then I got banned. I got banned for a day. It's not fair. Like, I'm glad that those people aren't just lying about their birthdays, but it's like, shut up, shut up. Who cares? You can't even vote. Shut up, shut up. Oh, and then all the comments are like one person posts like a reaction image, like some like the most like bland, tame reaction, like some like just TF2 picture of like the scout saying like, "That's crazy" or something, and then there's like a billion replies. They're like, "Me stealing your meme. I'm stealing your meme, Bucko. I'm stealing your meme, buddy. I'm gonna steal your meme." Actually like 100 replies saying they're gonna steal the person's like crappy unrelated reaction image, and that's every single thread is like is just some like kid complaining that they can't form a relationship with like the ghost guy from Call of Duty, and then like a bunch of like like actual like soulless NPCs like, I'm gonna steal your meme. I'm gonna steal your meme. I had like kids like that in this one like game making class when I was in high school, and all they did all day was like they quoted like JonTron and like TF2 videos all like constantly all day. It was all they did. It like ruined JonTron for me. I was like I used to like watch like JonTron videos like all the time and I have like almost like background noise. I listened to like, the bootleg. I watched the bootleg game video like a million times, and I was like I just can't watch it anymore. I just can't watch. It's like my go-to video, and I just can't watch it now. I can't really complain about that because all in all, like they weren't really doing anything like crazy. You know, like they were just like you know the high school kids who liked JonTron, which is like you know there's nothing wrong with that. But it was just so annoying at the time. I got like I didn't like you know pick any fights with them or anything, but I just like seethed. I was just seething all the time. It's like oh, those people. Like I was just sitting in the corner and seething, like the entirety of that class. Why did I keep jumping over here? There's nothing over here. You've got to be kidding me. Of course. Why does it do that? Why are you doing that? Why can't you jump to the side? What are you doing? You're supposed to jump to the side. We had an agreement. I'm agreeing with that guy. And like, they probably made this purposely inconsistent as far as how the jumps work sometimes. But I also don't believe him because people go on Reddit and just lie. People just do that. Believe it or not, people will do that. Like, hi. If they say like, hi, I'm a, and then it's something that would require them to be smart, I just assume they're lying. I just assume they're lying to me. Not to me, because I don't actually have an account. I just like view stuff. I just like look and seethe. I'm like the Grinch. Actually like the Grinch. I just looked down on all the who's in Whoville and was like, oh, how dare they? Oh, so the Yu-Gi-Oh updates are pretty cool sometimes. I like keeping up with Yu-Gi-Oh. I love this part. Like sometimes, like I do, that was even a full power jump, and you just full on jump over it. Sometimes if you do that, you land right in the middle. Sometimes you just completely clear it. How's a full power jump and I was at the edge, right? How did that not like make it? as hell. You have to press that and then jump. But then sometimes it's like, actually, I'm just gonna move. I'm just gonna move. Okay, there we go. So, wow. I'm like, that's a new one. That's a new one. Okay, okay, we got lucky there. I can't even think of anything to say. I want to get out of this specific part right here. There's this spot. Okay, it's over. It's actually over. I knew it. I knew it. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew this was gonna happen. It's guaranteed. It's just guaranteed. Oh my god. And it's just so nice knowing. I don't know. Place a checkpoint. Press control. Oh wait. Okay, so it doesn't just start you there, for some reason. It's still a worse place to have a checkpoint. That's entirely on me though. I hate that jump. Because even the chandelier, I like now they know how to do it. It's like yeah, I can just kind of figure out. But this one, it's like random. Yeah, the chandelier, like once someone just says, "Oh yeah, just quarter jump," it's like okay, quarter jump works. Why did I keep doing that? Why did that happen? Of course, it's either not enough or too much. As I said before, it's always, actually, you just bump into the wall. Or actually, you completely overshot that. Man, what were you thinking, man? Hell. That one's easy now. I was like a 1 millisecond more, and I barely didn't overshoot it. Sounds are satisfying though. The sounds are. I like the falling down sound. The sounds weren't nice. If I didn't like the sound, I think they're just Jump King sounds. But if the sound effects were not good, I think this would be a lot worse. I like the bumping sounds. Yeah, they were just slight. Like, they were like unbearable, or like just bad, or just not as like appealing. This game would be unplayable. That jump sucks. They made that jump to suck. If you make something for the purpose of it to suck, it still sucks. Even if it's like, haha, I meant for that to be like bad. It's like, yeah, well, it's bad. It's still bad that you made something that's bad. But I meant it to be bad. I meant it to be. It's supposed to be bad. Like it's still bad. It's still bad. Because any jump has the ability to become a like hell jump. This, when I first encountered this one, I never had any problems with it. And then suddenly it's like, well, now I keep overshooting it. It's like, when did that start? When did that become a problem? It wasn't a problem before. It's a problem now. At what point did that start being a problem? At any jump, if you have to do it long enough, like somehow will eventually you'll get like worse at it if you do it enough times. You do a jump enough times, and suddenly like you forget how it works. And suddenly it goes from being like, oh, it's that easy thing, it's obvious, to like, how did I ever do this? What is this? It's like, oh man, I finally figured out this jump that was screwing me over before. Oh wait, no, now this thing that I thought was easy before is now a problem. Oh, well, I learned that one. Oh wait, now this other one's a problem. No, nothing's changing, but I just keep forgetting. I somehow get worse at things. So it's like impossible to climb because of that. That was a quarter. That was a quarter! He's like, you have to be like really on the edge. I forgot how much this part sucks. Oh yeah, this part sucks. I forgot about that. This part sucks. This part sucks. Are video games not supposed to be fun? They're like, I blame competitive gaming. Because that's where you got the idea that it's like, maybe not that, but you know, I'm gonna go with it anyways, even if it's not true. Even if I can reasonably understand the fact that this is not a true statement, I'm gonna say it anyways. Because difficult video games have existed since video games have existed, but I'm gonna make up this narrative anyways because I feel like it. Because that's where you got the idea that's like, oh well, it doesn't have to be fun so long as it's actually all about it being difficult, and not even like accomplishing something, not even like it's just like it's supposed to be tough. It's like eating nails. It's like it's just supposed to be something where it's like, yeah, I did that. It's like, yeah, that must have been hard and unpleasant, and it doesn't really get you anything. It's like, hey, I just peeled off all my toenails. It's like, wow, that sure is an accomplishment. Why would you do that? I'm epic. I'm pretty epic. Yeah. Something like, you know, you wouldn't normally do, but I did it. It's like, yeah, that should be the norm. That should be the norm. That should be the norm is like ripping out all your toenails. It's like, hey, maybe I don't want to rip out all my... Dude, are you like a loser or something? You're like not tough, man. If you're not ripping out all your toenails, like, I don't know, man. You want fun? Bro. Bro, are you like a baby or something, man? It's supposed to be about like suffering. And like nihilism or something. That's actually impossible. That's actually impossible. That is so finicky. If this were like a sane game, like a game made for sane people, there'd be like video essays talking about like what were the game designers thinking. It's so finicky. It's so like it's just unreasonable. It's not like engaging. It's just precise for no good reason. It's like that's the point. That's actually the point. It's supposed to be like like just bad. I blame Japan and their invention of the kusoge, where it's like, it's bad. It's bad, guys. It's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like a genre. It's not supposed. It was never supposed to be a genre. Takeshi's Quest. Takeshi, you son of a bitch! You ruined everything! You ruined gaming! You ruined gaming, Takeshi! What have you done? This is all your fault! Your weird esoteric game, you ruined everything! You ruined it! The timeline will never be safe again. If you hadn't done that, we would all be safe from stuff like this. Like, oh, what if I made a game that it just sucked? It was just awful. It was just like not fun and like really hard. Not like hard and fun, you know, where it's like, ah man, this is like challenging, but I'm having a good time. But just like I just scraped my balls through a bunch of razor blades, and it was hard, but I did it. That's I think that's more accurate. That's more accurate. That's a better point. It's not it's like, oh yeah, I did this thing that was really hard and it wasn't fun, but I did it. It's like, why? Why would you like? I under like even if it's hard, games are supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be like fun. It's supposed to be enjoyment. It's like, oh man, this is difficult, but it's fun. It's supposed to be like a fun challenge. Not like I peeled off all my toenails. It hurt the entire time. There was not a second where I did not want to die. But I accomplished that just so I can tell people that I did it, and they all did it too. And we all just did it because I don't know. That's just how it's supposed to be. It's all Takeshi's fault. It's all his fault. Weren't for him, every game would be good. Every game would just be made to be good. That! What happened there? I'm not gonna. That was entirely me, but I'm gonna pretend it wasn't. The devil possessed me and made me keep going forward. The devil from the Bible. Not the devil from the devil went down to Georgia. Is the devil from the devil went down to I don't know. Not the devil from any Japanese media where they completely misunderstand what the Bible is supposed to be. Thank you, Shin Megami Tensei, for ruining the Bible. Haha, what if God was bad and like the devil was like this cool like rebel guy? Utterly ruined fiction forever. Hope you're happy. If it weren't for Shin Megami Tensei, we wouldn't have Has-Been Hotel. I don't even really care. I think from what I've seen of it, it seems fine. But there's people who don't like it, and I can use that to rile people up. I love spreading conflict on the internet. It sometimes makes me almost feel emotions. But not quite. There was that one creepypasta that was called like Pacemaker, where it was like this guy just feels like no emotion, and life sucks for him. And then in the end, it's revealed that he like killed his girlfriend and like stole her pacemaker and like put it in his heart or something, and like he forgot about it. I don't understand that one. That was like a. It was like this one like app that I had that was just called like a creepypasta app. And it just had like all the considered like the best creepypasta, and that was one of them. And I guess it was just kind of like really edgy. I never really understood it. It's like, does a pacemaker make you not feel emotion? Is that like an urban legend, or is there any? I don't think a pacemaker makes you like a serial killer. Remember that brief period of time? It was like 2 periods of time after like I think creepypasta kind of like died off. I think it's like it's still kind of like around, but there's like been like 3 stages, I'd say. There was like the shadow demon stage, where every monster in the story was like a shadow monster. which is like the most boring kind of monster you could possibly have. I hated that period because it's just like, and then this monster came up and it was a shadow. That's it. It was just a shadow. It was just entirely black. Didn't have any like real features except maybe like sharp teeth and like red eyes. It's like that's like the most generic concept of a monster I've heard of in my entire life. It's like it's so boring. They don't even like not even like using the actually like unique properties of a shadow. Just like it's entirely black, has red eyes, sharp teeth. And then there was like the rake period where everything was like pale, emaciated thing with big eyes and long fingers. That was like it's like also really strong for some reason. It looked emaciated, but it's actually like really strong. Was that one like experiment creepypasta that was like they get a bunch of people and they just torture them for some reason, and then it ends with like some rake clone showing up, and like wherever it goes, the song "Living in the Sunlight, Having in the Funlight, Having a Wonderful Time" is like playing, and then it was so like it was such a disappointment because the lead up was like decent, like some okay atmosphere, and then it's just like they just throw like the stupidest monster ever created at you. Like, like the most it was so like forced because that was like the first time that like people were like, oh my god, if you like slow down this like cutesy song, it sounds like weird. I'm living in the sunlight, having in the sunlight, having a wonderful time. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like contradictory because the song is like happy, but there's like something messed up happening, dude. And they just thought, let's just slap that in there without any regard for whether it makes sense in the narrative. Just because I think that song is scary, so I'm just gonna have it like playing over some speakers, like those people who think that, like, oh, if I go to war, there's gonna be like Little Dark Age playing from somewhere. There's actually people who think that. Trust me, it's totally legit. I'm not making stuff up. I am actually being legit, real for real, legit real, for real legit. I saw someone online say it, and they were, I'm assuming they were totally legit and they totally meant it. And I'm gonna be angry about that. I'm gonna be angry about this thing I saw someone say on the internet. That's how life should be. You should always be angry at things people. You should always take internet posts seriously, and you should always get angry at them. That is the lesson I want everyone to take away from life. Is always get angry at the internet, at dumb things, and always take things seriously. The internet is a very serious place, actually. The internet is a very serious place. Look at how serious this is. This is a very serious. This is serious stuff here. This is serious stuff. Like I have to play this game. I just have to. I'm not really enjoying myself. I'm not getting anything from this. But I just have to, man. I just gotta. Right, I just gotta. I just gotta, man. It's so hip and cool. What are they talking about again? Yeah, creepypasta. Yeah, so there's the shadow monster period and then the rake period. And the rake period I think was better. It was still not good. Because having like all monsters and stories always be the same thing sucks. Like when the rake first came about, it's like, oh my gosh, that's like interesting because, you know, like usually when you think of monster, you think of like big muscular thing or something. I guess that's the myth. Like people always like there was a period of time when creepypasta started where people said, "Man, Hollywood sucks because all their monsters are just like giant monsters with big teeth and they're like really muscular and strong and they like beat the crap out of you." But creepypastas have like more nuanced monsters. They're not like just a bear demon. They're just unsettling. I guess it was like it's not really the monsters, but just the atmosphere. But like, I mean, I think some of these people just watch really bad horror movies. and they just assume that that's like everything. Like people who say like, man, all horror movies are just a bunch of idiots, a bunch of unlikable idiots who like do stupid stuff and then die. It's like, no, I think you just have really, you're just watching some bad movies. That's on you. Oh my god. What was I saying? Oh yeah, then like the great part was like I felt like the atmosphere was a little bit better. Maybe it was because like that was around the point when creepypasta was like just less popular overall. So you had a lot less the thing is you had like less like a lot less like great stories coming out. Like I guess like there's a lot less like stories coming out, I guess. But I guess it was that was really the point where like No Sleep was popular. Anyways, point is I feel like when creepypasta was at its peak, you had a lot of good stuff and like a lot of like like stuff happening around the stories. Like there was a more community, but there was also a bunch of people who were like, I could do that, and they just wrote like the worst stories imaginable. I think the shadow stories were typically like just bad. They were usually just bad, and the rake ones were tended to have like better pacing at least, or maybe they just had like more developed tropes by then. And then there was the current period, I'd say, at least the last time I checked, is like the really long name period. Or they're more like thrillers than like creepy like horror stories. I like the ones I really don't like. I think I've said this before. I call them the sliding over cars while I shoot subgenre, which is where it's like some guy stumbles across some spooky thing, and like there's like some first part of the story that's kind of good, where there's just like some like open-ended thing, and there's like maybe some mystery, and then it's like the government starts coming after him because they know some spooky thing and they're not supposed to know it, and then like secret agent Jim shows up and he's like really badass and he's like, hey kid, you're in way over your head, monsters are real by the way, and there's a super secret government organization that's like RIPD type crap where we go out and we find demons, we fist fight them to death with their shirts off and drink beer, and and it's super badass. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but it's always like secret agent Jimmy. You and he's like, oh, the government knows about monsters, and we've been like keeping monsters from people, and you're not supposed to know about the monsters. And then they try to like have like some SCP type lore or something about like the categorization of the monsters, and then it's like a bunch of just like fighting monsters and like bad action movie schlock. It's just not good. It's just not. It's like survival horror, but like one of those survival horrors where it just feels more like an action thing than anything that's actually trying to be scary. Like they have like all they have all like the like, oh, there's zombies here. Isn't that scary? They're Walking Dead. Ooh, it's like, yeah, but they're just kind of there. Like just because you have a monster there doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna be scared, you know? Just because there are monsters in the story doesn't mean like if the plot isn't horror based, if it's like I'm fighting aliens, ooh, I'm not gonna be scared, you know? I'm not gonna be like freaked out. I think this is about as good as this. I think I'm gonna have to call it. Yeah, I'm not getting any further than this. Almost 2 hours. I think that's fine. That's decent. 2 hours is fine. And my throat's hurting, so I'm gonna call it here. I give up. Hold on, how do I? Well, I'm not clicked into the game, so it's not doing anything. Oh, I hit. All right, that's the stream. I accomplished very little. I'm gonna continue editing that video, which will probably get deleted. Remember to always take things on the internet seriously, and always get in internet arguments, and always